What does BlackRock creating opportunities amid the damage of rate hikes and the recession mean to you? Start us off, RJ.
I mean, I think it goes back to some of our points a couple of weeks ago. I mean, there's going to be pain. We're going to feel it. They're going to make sure that there's going to be losses had. And yeah, with losses, there's going to be opportunities to come in for other investment groups. And I think that's kind of the reality of what we're sitting here. The Fed has continually said we're going to keep going until we fix this problem that we've created and with inflation. And that's going to happen with the interest rate hikes. And it's going to keep going until there's losses. And I think as real estate investors, it's our responsibility at this point to shelter ourselves and prepare to not be affected by that pain and then be able to capitalize on the other side of it.
Good answer. Good answer. All right, Brewer, what you got for us?
You
making notes?
I'd refer back to what RJ said, that happiness must steal joy for people. It's like I've always said, steal joy. So I think there's one lever, that the Federal Reserve has to pull when they're trying to fight inflation, and then there's this balance between a recession and inflation. And I think generally what we've seen is as they continue to increase rates, they're not actually getting the response in the amount of time that they think they should. And there's all of these other sort of ancillary things that are going on that continue to pop up. And it's really hard to sift through it. And I think that's the thing that I'm excited about coming into spring. And I've actually stopped paying attention to a lot of that stuff. And I'm going to focus on what happens in my world, taking care of buyers and sellers, hiring the best people. And we just had a meeting with a bank today that's begging to give us money. And as I sat with the vice president of this lending, he's like, I can't lend money right now. People are too rate conscious. We have all of these funds that we have to lend. And the only way we make profit is when we lend the money. Please take a few $1 million from us and spend it responsibly. So in my little world in central PA, it's not having any negative impact. It's creating an opportunity for me, and I'll continue to leverage those as long as I can see them clearly.
Very nice. Very nice. All right, Leon, what about you?
I think this is exactly what BlackRock has been telling you for many, many months. They're holding the line of they think there's going to be a global recession. They think things are going to get bad. So like Eric said, we've been talking about this for, 6 months now of being lean, being mean, making sure you're taking care of people, focusing in. I mean, today, just from the panel's discussion out of the gates, is you heard most people talking about laser focus and monetizing more leads. I think the other piece of this that we've talked about before is just making sure that you're being fiscally responsible with your business, not taking shotgun approach where the last 3 years you've been able to waste some funds. You've been able to try some things that maybe didn't pan out for you. So I would make sure that I'm getting laser focused and double down on being as liquid as possible, hiring the best possible human beings that you can hire to help you grow and scale your business during a time of unknown. If you focus in on those things, it doesn't matter what the market does. We've talked about this before. People are always going to need housing, and housing is still in a shortage. Focus on what you can, what you do best, and then be as liquid as possible to hopefully be able to take advantage of some of the things that may come your way.
Jimmy V, what are your thoughts on BlackRock?
If you read Ray Dalio's last book, he says every investor, their biggest damage, their biggest risk is inflation. That what they invest in, the cash is going to lose so much value that it's not going to buy them anything. So what do investors have to do? They have to run to hard assets. What is the industry we are in? We are in hard assets. Most people, when they think hard assets, they think gold and silver. Problem with gold and silver is it doesn't cash flow. It's simply a hedge. Like, we're in a very nice spot where we're the only place where you can buy a hedge that actually cash flows and grow. So, like, regardless of what happens to the if you're going to buy and hold for long term, regardless of what may happen to interest rates or the underlying value of the asset, it is irrelevant. Like Brewer said it, the Fed has one lever, the interest rate, to try to curb inflation. They're not cutting government spending. They have to create more currency to bail out those banks that just failed. Like this inflation thing, it is not going away. And it is the greatest threat to people's retirements. It is the great short-term recession, short-term price drop in assets is not the greatest threat. It is the currency losing all of its value. And I don't see interest rates really curbing that loss. And so I think we're in a good spot.